Team of Fluent Artists, we are live. All right, come in, type your name, where you from in the chat. I got my chat up right here on the side. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we can go ahead and get right into it. All right, awesome. All right, Team Fluent Artists, I got a quick little pop quiz for you. Let me know in the chat. Do you need a lot of followers to sell art online? I type true or false in the chat. Do you need a lot of followers to sell art online? I want to see the true or false is coming through. All right, so that answer is false. You do not need a lot of followers. And actually, being new can be an advantage because you don't have any bad habits to break. All right. Next question. Do you need a body of work created before you can start selling art? All right, true or false in the chat. All right, this one is false as well. You do not need a body of work created. You can actually pre-sell your art before it's done. All right, we're going to show you how on today's live masterclass. All right, and then the final question: do you need gallery exposure to sell art to high-income collectors? All right, true or false in the chat. Do you need gallery exposure to sell art to high-income collectors? All right, that answer is false as well. You do not. You just need access to those high-income collectors. And we're going to show you how to do that on this live masterclass. Like you see these artists selling their art right here in this live video, okay? And then finally, can you sell art for higher prices if you are an emerging artist, right? If you're new to the art game, can you sell art for higher prices, true or false, or do you have to settle for low ones? All right, type your true or false in the chat. All right, so fortunately, that answer is true. You can sell art for higher prices as an emerging artist, all right? And so even if you think you don't have the time, if you think you're in the wrong location, if you think you don't have the resources, we're going to show you how you can get started selling art no matter where you're getting started or what your background is as well, all right? And so I want to talk to you about one of our Fluent artists, Jasmine Tompkins, okay? Because if you haven't succeeded in the past, listen, it is not your fault. The art industry does not teach us how to sell art on purpose because they want to control who makes it. And so I already knew the art market only wanted a chosen few to get through, but I had a difficult experience firsthand when I did my first art event. All right, so it's really us versus them. It's the affluent artists that keep most of their sales and build direct relationships with collectors versus the art market that tries to control galleries, fairs, and collector access. All right. And so I know it can be scary trying to figure out how to make it as an artist. And so I'm here to offer you support and show you a new way to succeed. And so I want to share Jasmine Tompkins, a Fluent artist story with you. And so read what she said. She said, I'm a little late on this post, but 2 weeks ago, I secured not one, but two contracts with two different businesses for $7,500 each. Let me put this in perspective for you guys. For years, I gave away my art for free. I joined the Fluent Artists January last year. 1 year ago, I was still selling most of my original art for $200, and my biggest sale this time last year was $500 to a hospital. This month, if I make no more money for the next 10 days, I will have total to make $15,800. I am floored. I never thought this was possible for me. Thank you, Sharesh, for giving us the tools to make this passion into a business and for investing your time into my life. All right. And so type yes in the chat if you want to start selling over $15,000 per month like Jasmine. Okay. Just type yes in the chat. All right. So regardless of any family, friends, or anyone else in your life that told you that you can't be successful as a full-time artist, I'm here to give you hope because you can make a living and become a well-known artist. All right. And so here's another affluent artist story. Jason Geronik, he recently became an affluent artist at the end of 2025, and he jumped in and started getting rolling immediately. All right. And so he said this was like within his first month, he collected $750. I think the total was closer to like $1,250. And he said, thank you, Sharesh, for the guidance and reaffirmation. Give me to wake up and realize that I already have a large community of collectors that I neglected for a while. Thank you, Jesus. He guided me to this program. This is only the beginning. And then less than a week later, he ended up selling another $1,000 piece at the top of the year. All right. And so, man, he was just getting rolling. So type yes in the chat if you like to sell your first or next piece within the next 30 days, like Jason right here. All right. So if you here and these are your goals, are you in the right place? Because I want to help you become an affluent artist. And so this presentation is designed to help two types of artists. One, if you are an emerging artist, I want to help you get more confidence to sell art and raise your price. If you are an established artist, I want to help you get more exposed to high income collectors globally. All right. And for both groups, I want to help you accomplish your dreams, your sales goals, and become well known so you can increase your status and finally leave your 9 to 5 to become a full-time affluent artist. All right. And now the only way for you to make this transformation is so that you can consistently sell art online is by being an affluent artist. All right. And the only way to be an affluent artist is with the Artwork app. And so if I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling art, will you promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future? I type yes in the chat. And so my name is Sharess. All right. And like you, I've been an artist my entire life. You see that picture, a little Sharess in the top left corner. Below that is a picture I drew of my son and I, a self-portrait for his first birthday. And then I also played basketball. All right. So I was a Division I college basketball player. I absolutely love art and basketball. But during this time while I was in school, man, I didn't have any collectors. I did not have any sales skills. And plus my house burned down the day after Christmas and I lost all of my art. And my family, we lost everything in that fire. And so I was really depressed. And so that next year, I ended up becoming a starving artist dropout. And so after I dropped out of school, I still had this talent, but I had low confidence. It was very hard to sell art and break into the industry. And so I became obsessed with mastering business online because I really wanted to understand how to sell and market my artwork so that I can make a full-time living. And so I knew that I needed a mentor to kind of get me jump started in this game. And so I ended up writing a letter to 19 millionaires. And one of the first people that responded was this guy right here named Mike. And he was so impressed with my marketing and sales skill to get his interest that he actually hired me to help him launch his next product. And so we did that and we ended up making like $1.8 million in 7 days. And it was like $2.8 million over the following 2 months. And with this experience, I actually wrote my #1 best-selling book, How to Create Lifetime Customers, that document really how to make money on the internet. And because I became a best-selling author, I've been able to speak to people all over the world talking about selling, marketing, and how to really build the business of their dreams. And I've also helped celebrities like Cynthia Bailey sell her products and services and launch them as well. And so I've helped a lot of creators just like you make money. But even with this success, I still had dreams of being a full-time artist. And then I had an epiphany. I was like, you know what? A starving artist only means you do not have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales. What would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to fine art? And so I had a crazy plan. I said, I'm going to host my first art event and sell out the show. All right. And so we did just that. This is me, one of the collectors at the event. You said we had a bunch of beautiful people in the room, man. The collectors, they were enjoying the wine, the hors d'oeuvres, and of course the art. And this is how we sold our first piece for $2,000 at that very first event. All right, type yes in the chat if you like to sell a piece for $2,000 or more at your first or next event. All right, so I want to see some yeses coming through. And so here's my friend, affluent artist Melissa Mitchell. She said, flashback to this dope art investors event by Sharess May. All of these pieces sold and have already doubled in value. All right. And so while we were at this event having this great time, we were selling art, I started to realize that we had some very real problems. So first, launching an art event the way I did it, it cost me over $5,000 up front to do the event because artists were using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Square, really anything we could get our hands on to process a payment. That left everything very difficult to track. But an even bigger problem than that is we couldn't easily follow up with the collectors that had just spent thousands of dollars with us, right? And so if you transact with Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, you can get the payment, but you don't get the customer's address. You may not get their phone number or email, and you definitely don't get that credit card information so you can follow up and make a future purchase, right? And so this is what inspired the affluent artist movement. Because I couldn't find a solution to help me with my art event, I had to create a new way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell art on and offline. And so as an affluent artist, you need one system that accepts payments up to $1 million. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, whether that's in person or online. You want to be able to track your artwork sales and your collector's information in one place. Collectors should be able to buy your art with one click, like Amazon. You also want collectors to be able to track their net worth in your art. And ideally, this system would bring interested collectors to you, all right? So they can be coming to you on autopilot. And so this was still, it was very hard and expensive to create this solution, though. And so I wasted over $30,000 of my own money and over a year hiring 2 dev teams to create artwork. And so I invested every penny to my name, and I really thought about giving up. But I knew going back to the old way wouldn't work for me because I had just did my own art event and I experienced how difficult it was. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna try one more time. So I found a third dev team. And so the new artwork app and the automated collector system I created started working so well that many artists were selling art within 7 days. And so here's a fluent artist, Kira. She was one of the first artists to use this system. And she sold art in the first 19 hours while she was 18 and she had just graduated high school. So she was new to art. She did not have any sales skill at all, but she was able to use this and set the record. And she actually holds the record for the fastest sale, 19 hours. Here's a fluent artist, Zia Ponte. He applied this and he made $1,829 selling 7 prints and 8 commissions in 1 week. And that was just his deposits, right? And so he said, I haven't had a chance to report on my record-breaking success this past week. All right, type yes in the chat if you want to have your record-breaking success like Zia Ponte. All right, and then here's a fluent artist, Jennifer, one of my favorite stories. So she's a single mother of 4 kids, and she sold a piece in a little over 24 hours. She said, it's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up. All right, and she was watching this webinar just like you did, and so she kept compounding her success. And so here she sold a piece for $5,840 at Art Basel. Type yes in the chat if you want to make a sale at Art Basel. You want to get down there to Miami, start selling some art. All right. And because of her continued success and continue applying herself, she also got invited to Sotheby's for the Art Business Institute of Art all the way in London. All right. Type yes in the chat if you'd like to go to London to visit Sotheby's and Christie's to learn the art business directly from them. All right. And so this is the truth. After creating artwork and helping all kind of artists transform into a fluent artist, I realized we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us, wait on word of mouth to sell art, or already have a big following on social media. The old way of being a starving artist was dead. All right. Now, this is what I need from you. And it's simple. I need your belief because I will give you the solution to become a full-time fluent artist, but you have to believe you can and put it into action. All right. Because nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinging to those same starving artist problems. All right. And so if you want to start setting and exceeding your sales goal, like Brisha, type yes in the chat. So she said for the first quarter this year, I set a goal to make $12,000. As of today, I'm super happy to have hit 13K instead. Keep going. All right. Motivation of fluent artists. And because of our success, I was invited to speak at BlackRock on art investing. All right. And BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with over $10 trillion in assets. And so they invited me there to speak on investing in Black art. And then, man, our success started to spread like wildfire. And so some senators from the country of Barbados, they actually flew me in for a special trip to teach the artists in that country how to sell their art to a global community of high income collectors. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about, how to do that today on this presentation. All right. And so that's me standing with some senators and leadership from the country of Barbados. And that's some of their incredible artists over there on the right. And so if you struggle with selling your art in the past, listen, it's not your fault. I get it. I went to college, so I know firsthand that you will learn how to get real dope art skills, but they don't teach you how to sell art or get collectors or really market yourself, okay? And so that part of the curriculum is really missing, even at the highest levels of education. And so after over 20 years in business and helping artists sell worldwide, I want you to type yes in the chat if it's your turn to get your own collectors, skip the high dealer fees, and sell your art online all over the world, all right? And so because once you discover these 3 secrets, you'll have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art. All right. So these are the 3 secrets to selling art online. All right. Secret number 1, charge your worth. How this one thing makes collectors excited to buy your art at luxury prices. All right. And so here's a fluent artist, Melissa Mitchell again. So I discovered this secret at our first live art event. And so you see Melissa, man, she's a really dope artist. You see her beautiful art behind her. And she also creates wearable art. And she's such a professional, man. She presents herself very well. and she explains on why she created her art just with excellence. Okay. And so this is how we actually sold that first piece for $2,000. And so the collector had no clue who Melissa was. And so I asked him, I was like, man, why did you invest into an artist you never heard of? You don't follow them online. You don't know anything about their brand. Like, why would you invest over $2,000 in a piece of art? And he simply said, Sharess, I think the art is great, but it was the story that really captivated me and made me want to invest. Okay. And so if you're posting like this with no sales, right, whether you're getting a lot of engagement, little engagement, if you're posting the medium, the size, the price, bunch of hashtags, or say something like DM, if you're interested, listen, when you add your art story, man, this is going to change the game for you. Okay. And so look, Jasmine, she said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude, art story, and organic conversation building relationships really work. All right. And so here's Miss Raquel. She said she sold her first piece for over $1,000 using this system. Type yes in the chat if you're here and you want to make your first sale for over $1,000. All right. And this is Brisha Jones, one of my favorite stories. This piece, this was her highest selling piece, and it was the biggest at the time. And so she sold it for $6,209. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell your next piece for over special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. She said, when my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel. Hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place. Fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness. Okay. All right. And so this is the art story framework. All right. A equals art star. Who's the art star in your art story? All right. Let me make sure this sharing is still going on. All right. Look like share. Want to make sure everybody can see it. All right. Type yes in the chat if you can see. All right, I see it coming up on mine. All right, so the A equals art star. So who's the art star in your art story? All right, art equals the role. What's the art star's role in your art story? All right, what do they want to accomplish? What are they trying to do in the story? And then T equals twist. What's the emotional twist in your art story? All right, so if you like to watch movies like I do, man, you know a good movie will have you on the edge of your seat with the twists and turns, getting you to wonder what is going to happen next. All right. And so these same rules apply to our visual art. And so let me show you how this piece right here used the art story framework to sell this piece for an astronomical price. All right. And so first, who's the art star? Is Dr. Gachet. All right. That is a portrait of who this picture is of. All right. What's his role? He's Van Gogh's doctor. All right. So that's simple enough. But the fluent artist, what is the twist? All right. The twist is the doctor may have killed Van Gogh. And so y'all know people love murder mysteries, and people are going crazy wondering like, man, did Van Gogh paint his last portrait of his killer? Like, you know, what really happened? And this story became so sensationalized in the media and through the community that it actually sold for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's at an auction, okay? And so I want to have a little bit of fun with this. I know some of you here, you want to sell your first piece. You may be trying to sell art for a couple $100, a couple thousand, tens of thousands of dollars or more. But type 82.5 million in the chat if you want to sell your art for millions like me. All right, type 82.5 million in the chat, okay? Because this is how you break sales records. Again, it is not your time, nor is it your size, all right? It is all about your art story. And that art story has to touch your collector's emotions, okay? Now, I know they teach us to price our art based on time, right? But if you really think about that, when you practice more as an artist, you become more skilled. When you become more skilled, you can create work faster. And so it don't really make sense to charge less because you became more efficient, right? And then also size. Man, we know that art that can hang on people's walls inside their homes are oftentimes more valuable than art that's hanging on the side of a mural, right? And so it's really all about the art story. And so now I've shown you how becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself at higher prices, all right? Write down your new price and type it in the chat for me, all right? Write down your new price and type that in the chat. And so this works for you if you are a painter, a sculptor, acrylic pours, you do jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It works for all affluent artists at all prices. All right. So let's go. Secret number 2 of the 3 secrets of selling art online. All right. One-click collectors. How to get instant access to ready to buy collectors. All right. Now, I couldn't believe this happened. Man, this piece right here really represents a transformation in my career as an artist and a developer. And so when I ran into one of my friends, one of my classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his art show, right? And so I'm an artist, but I'm also a collector as well. I love buying art from local artists and just supporting them and their businesses. And so when I saw this piece, man, I loved it. Like I love the colors, I love the hair, the contrast, the earrings, the profile, everything about it. I just thought it was really fly. And I love the pastel colors. And so when I saw my classmate, I stepped to him and told him that I wanted to buy this. And I couldn't believe it but he turned my money down. He's like, Sharess, I can't take your money. People usually cash at me. And my mind was really blown because this guy turned down my cash, right? And let me know in the comments if you've experienced this. I type yes in the chat if you've ever experienced this. Man, artists are turning down money and you are violating rule number 1, which is get paid. All right, everybody put get paid in the chat. We got to get this money. You can't be turning down sales because you're not prepared, okay? And so if you can't take any payments, man, we're going to help you solve that problem. That's problem number 1. All right, we got to get paid. Rule number 2, if you're using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, etc., again, it's good to get paid with these tools, but you're missing a lot of information that some collectors may not want to do business with you because they don't get a receipt, right? You don't get a receipt with Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle. And then you also don't get the collectors often a phone number, email address, or the credit card information to make it easy for them to buy in the future, okay? And then social selling, all right? Put guilty in the chat if you still dropping your picture and saying something like email or DM me for the price, all right? But just put guilty in the chat. And then if you're taking orders on paper in 2026, man, we got to cut that out. All right? You got to level up your game so you can really present yourself as a professional artist, all right? And then low or no website sales. So I know a lot of artists, they have websites, they're not making any money, or you don't have a website at all and you know that you're missing that opportunity, all right? And so I created artwork to help solve all of these problems for you, okay? And so, man, Tiara, when she loaded her art to artwork, she said, I just uploaded some of my original art on the app a couple of days ago, and about 30 minutes ago, got a notification that one of my pieces sold. Still in shock a bit of how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. Thank you, Sharess, for perfecting the app. It definitely is a game changer for us as artists, all right? So I'm going to show you a quick demo of our artwork account and how easy it is to sell your art and get collectors to buy with one click.
Hey, my name is Sharess May, and I want to give you a quick demo of the Artwork app. So the Artwork app does 2 very simple things, all right? If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection, all right? And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first, then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price, all right? And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number will be in blue at the top. And this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. As you start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business, all right? And then once you go to your artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to add art. It's very simple. You click add artwork. You just have to fill out these fields right here. And once you click save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click share offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you will see collectors in your dashboard. So you see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on that dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click switch to collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here, but I'm going to pause for a moment to show you how simple it is to buy as a collector. So now I'm logged into the app as our test collector. And so you see when art is sold out, it'll be sold out in the marketplace, all right? And you can just scroll through the marketplace to check out all of the art that's available on the dashboard, all right? And so let's say if you want to buy something, it's very simple. You can click buy now. And if we have your card on file, you can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say you want to select this card, we click confirm order. And it's that simple, all right? It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection, and it'll take you to your collection. You see we just purchased this one right here, all right? So you can see all of your active collection. And as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artists that you're purchasing artwork from, all right? So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick. And let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart to go to the checkout page and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art, and also for collectors to buy, track the value of their collection as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon.
All right. Type yes in the chat if you love artwork. All right. Now I want to cover a few artwork frequently asked questions. So first, artists, you can set your own price. All right. You can also write your art story, put it in the description, so when a collector views it, they know exactly what the story is about. It's going to make them want to love purchasing that piece. All right. Collectors can also buy multiple pieces. They just have to add it to their shopping cart and check out all at once. You can also add the shipping fee to the art price. So what we like to do, let's say if the piece is $1,000 and the shipping is $100, we will set the price at $1,100 in the app, so you don't have to follow up and collect the shipping afterwards. Artists, you can ship directly to your collector if it's a physical print, and then sales are deposited into your account in 24 to 48 hours, so you get paid very quickly. And then artwork gets a small 10% commission on the sale, okay? And so artists are selling art right now, man. Jen sold Purpose for $1,024. Absolutely love her butterflies and her work. Tierra sold Bright Future. And Christina sold Veil of Night, man. And I love the colors in that sky right there. All right. And type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first piece like Magdalena. She said, I'm very happy I sold my first piece in artwork. Many thanks to my new collector. She sold Natural for $1,850. And so now I've shown you how artwork saves you time, money, and makes it easy for collectors to buy your art with one click. Type yes in the chat if you're excited to use artwork to get collectors. All right. Type yes in the chat. So now, man, the third secret to the 3 secrets of selling art online. Secret number 3, high income collectors. All right. How to get global exposure to collectors that spend millions on art. So, man, Chrissy, she said, okay, I'm about to cry right now. On my own way of selling, I would have got $200 for this piece. It would have taken me a while to even get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. She spent $7, $1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $7, and sold a piece for $700. Man, that's a massive return on her ad investment. Okay. She said it only took her a few hours to sell. And she also made $2,350 in her first 3 weeks selling her products at her price points. All right. So think about what you can accomplish just by investing small sums in the ads to start getting access to collectors. All right. And so I love friends and family sales. Just like Tiara, she sold this galactic jelly piece for $2,000. Man, this is really dope. And then Mr. Emmanuel, he sold a portrait for $500 to a sister at his local church. Okay. But sometimes we want to go global and get global exposure to collectors outside of our neighborhood, all over the country, and potentially all over the world. All right. And so after our first wave of Affluent Artist success, I knew I wanted to help more artists get high income collectors online by leveraging the power of AI and online ads. Now, because of my experience buying ads on social media, I knew there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors, and that's Instagram. All right. And so always remember, success leaves clues. And so Forbes, they said with the Sotheby's $363.2 million sale, the art market passed the first major test of the pandemic. Business Insider said for now, the art world has gone digital. And for some, that's a good thing. Artsy said they saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales in April, and interest from galleries increased by more than 60%. All right. And so let me show you, man, when we log into Facebook and Instagram dashboard, we can start to find our ideal audience, right? And so if you look in the top left, I'm in the US. I want you to start in whatever country that you live in. And in the bottom left red box, you see it says Sotheby's. And so we saw in that Forbes article that Sotheby's, they had a $363.2 million sale, all right? And they make billions every year selling art. And so type yes in the chat if it makes sense to you to target Sotheby's to get in the flow of all of that money the collectors are spending, all right? Type yes in the chat. And if that makes sense to you like it makes sense to me, we can click this green create ad button in the top right corner, and it's going to take us to a spot called detailed targeting, all right? Everybody type the word financial in the chat, all right? And so when we get to detailed targeting, you see we're targeting Sotheby's. They're making a lot of money selling art, like a lot of collectors are buying art from them. And we put in that word financial, we can target the top 5% of income earners that love buying art from Sotheby's. All right. We can also target the top 10% of household income earners, the top 10 to 25, and the top 25 to 50% of household income earners that love spending millions of dollars on art at Sotheby's. All right. Now, if this is blowing your mind, if you've never seen this before, man, put wow in the chat, put the mind blown emoji. If you didn't know that you can target high income collectors that's already spending millions of dollars worth of art on art. All right. Type wow or put the mind blown emoji in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. All right. All right. Let me give you another one. Here's Art Basel. So we know Art Basel is one of the biggest art fairs in the world. All right. They just had Art Basel Miami in December. So a little bit over a month ago. All right. Type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to target those collectors that's spending all that money to travel to go to Art Basel. I type yes in the chat. All right. And so when we come to the spot called detailed targeting again, we can put that financial layer on. And then when we put on that financial layer, we can target the top 5% of income earners that like buying art from Art Basel, the top 10% of income earners, also the top 10 to 50% of income earners that love spending millions of dollars of art at Art Basel. I type yes in the chat if this is blowing your mind. All right. Let me give you one more to bring it home. So we saw that Business Insider article said Artsy saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales. Type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to target that brand to put your art in front of them. All right, type yes in the chat. And so when we go to the detailed targeting section, we can put that financial layer on, and you can see we can target the top 5% of household income earners, the top 10% of income earners, and the top 10 to 50% of household income earners. All right. And so artists, when we do this, now we have the keys to success, because these collectors have two things that you absolutely need to get art sold for higher prices. The first thing is these collectors have the willingness to buy art, right? I know you have the willingness to buy art. If you like brands like Sotheby's, if you like brands like Art Basel, if you visit brands like Artsy, I know that you like art, so you're willing to buy the art. But then when we add that financial layer, that makes sure that we get the second thing covered, which is these collectors have the ability to buy art. And this type of access changes everything, okay? And so let me show you. Affluent artists are selling art worldwide. Here's Nisha Kapoor. She's Indian. She sold some painting in Indian rupees. She says, Sharess, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads, and we spoke on the phone, and the person is willing to buy. All right. Here's affluent artist Miss Valerie. She sold $3,250 from her ads really quickly. All right. And then here's Christy. She spent $45 on ads, and she made $1,400 in a day and a half. All right. Type yes in the chat if you like to invest $45 and make $1,400 or more in a little over 24 hours. Okay. And so this was really easy. She was selling a $100 offer. And so, man, it was really, really easy for her to do. She said, I hope everyone in this group realizes we struck gold. I am grateful for this program. Okay. And so here's my guy, affluent artist Joe Woods. He said, and this happened last night. So he sold a $2,000 piece from his ass while he was asleep. All right. Type sleep money in the chat, man, if you want to wake up to art sales because your ads were running 24/7 around the clock. All right. Type sleep money in the chat. All right. And so now I've shown you how you can use Instagram ads and AI to target the same high income collectors the biggest art brands in the world use to sell art. All right. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to get exposure to high income collectors online. All right. And now, so far, we've discovered how to create your art story to raise your prices, how to track your art sales and artwork, how you can easily share your art via text, email, or social media, how to access a worldwide collectors marketplace, how to get collectors to buy your art with one click, how collectors can track what they own from your collection, how you can use Instagram to target collectors worldwide, and how to use that financial layering to target high-income collectors. And so I want you to imagine your future best self selling art to collectors worldwide, all right? Imagine that you're charging what you're actually worth and you're satisfied with the sales result, all right? And ultimately, imagine living your dream life as a full-time affluent artist, all right? So tell me, what are you doing with all that extra money and free time? All right. When you really start to hit your goals and really living the life that you dreamed of, let me know what you're doing with all of that extra money and free time. Because knowing what you know now, do you feel more confident pricing your art? Type yes in the chat. Are you happy you attended this class today? Type yes in the chat if you feel like this was a great investment of your time. Okay. And do you realize the advantage you have as an artist using these techniques? Type yes in the chat. And then can you see yourself using this to sell more art? Type yes in the chat if you can see yourself applying this to start selling your art at the prices you deserve, all right? And then can you see yourself getting new collectors with this? Type yes in the chat if you can see yourself getting new collectors, all right? And so now you got two choices. Choice number one, you could do what you always do, right? You could be posting, scrolling on social media all day, hoping somebody hits you up. But if you do this, you'll continue to get the same results, all right? Choice number two, you can sell with handheld mentorship and guaranteed results. All right. And so let me know if it's okay if I spend a few minutes going over a very special offer to help you accomplish your dreams. I just type yes in the chat. And so I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. It's a fun and easy 5-step system for visual artists to raise prices, get new collectors, and sell more art online. All right. And so part number one is the Affluent Artist Masterclass. And it's a simple 5-step process. So step number one is mindset. This is where we cover that millionaire mindset so you can divorce being a starving artist. Step number two is price. This is where we show you how to raise your price and charge your worth. Step number three is sold. This is where we show you how to start selling art and getting those cash collectors. Step number four is collectors. This is where we show you how to build community with your collectors so they want to buy from you for a lifetime. And then step number five is marketing. This is where we show you how to use the Instagram and Facebook ads so you can target those high income collectors. Okay. And so here's my guy, Christian, just sharing his testimony about what happened when he became an affluent artist and how fast he started selling art and getting results.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program and made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over 4,000. And it's super easy to follow. Like, if you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. You also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me in the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian. All right. So again, affluent artist, this works for you if you're a painter, sculptor, acrylic pouring, you do jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawing, ceramic, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It works for all affluent artists at all prices. All right. And so type yes in the chat, man. If you want to sell over $4,000 like Miss Joy right here, all up in Canada. I love when we put that cash money on the table to show proof of the sale. I should see some yeses coming through. And this works even if your art isn't ready. One of the biggest things I hear artists say is they think they need to have a bunch of art ready, or they need to have some big portfolio before they can get started selling. But Jasmine, she actually pre-sold her work before it was done. All right. And so you don't even need to have the art finished before you can start pre-selling and start making some sales with this method right now. All right. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and that's a $5K value. Okay. Part number 2 is the artwork. We're going to give you a 12-month gold account. Okay. And so I want you to imagine collectors buying from anywhere in the world. So Jen says she's happy and grateful to have sold this piece. I'm going to supersize my fries tonight. Imagine your new life just selling art anywhere in the world. All right. And I love to see the little collectors with their art. We got the new art collectors jumping in the game when their parents buy nice art for them. So Missy Vaughn sold Spidey senses to this collector. And so when you get artwork, you'll be able to accept payments up to $1 million. You'll be able to easily sell your art anywhere, whether that's in person or online. You'll be able to track your art sales and collectors information in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click. Collectors can also track their net worth in your art. And you also be able to save a lot of money. All right. So you can save money on website fees. You can save money on Etsy and marketplace fees. You can save money on fair and shows, right? Doing the labor and the fees that it costs if you want to do that. You can also save money on email marketing, CRM software. And the biggest time and money saver is that lost time trying to figure it out on your own, because you're going to be with a team of people that's giving you a step-by-step process. Okay. And so when I first started, I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place or track how much my collectors spent. I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy with one click. So I had to create artwork for myself. And so 6 years ago, I had to spend over $60,000 in 3 years to figure out how to create an app to solve this problem. Now, I don't want you recreating the wheel. So I'm going to give you an artwork account with this package, so you skip the cost, trial, and error. Cool. All right, cool. And so again, man, it is selling for artists fast, right? So Tierra, she uploaded the piece, and within a couple of days, she got a notification that the piece sold. All right. And so when you join today, you're also going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass and your artwork 12-month gold account. And that's a $6,200 value. Okay. Part 3 is the Affluent Artist Community. All right. This is one of my favorite parts of the program, because we have a global network of artists and collectors that love serving and they want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to our private Affluent Artist School community. And so this gives you the knowledge, community, encouragement, and a motivation you need to succeed in your art career. And so you can access the program and the community anytime from anywhere in the world. And we also give you unlimited support. So you got 24/7 access to our school group. Plus we have live weekly sales sessions to make sure you get all of your questions answered. All right. And so another thing I really love about our community is we have artists as young as 9 when Son Yu and her mom, Miss Jovan, joined. And that's how I got to meet them when they came to Atlanta. And we also have grandmothers like Miss Phyllis. She was 73 when she joined, and she made a sale in her first week. All right. So if you think you're too young, or if you think you're too old, man, you are right where you need to be. And this is the community for you. Okay. And so I don't want you to just imagine having a community of artists that's dedicated to helping you 24/7. Here's Sean. He shared a powerful lesson just about following up every time, because you never know why somebody might ghost you. He said he thought his price was too high and she was gone for good, but he didn't make up stories as to why they didn't call. He just followed up, was polite, and he made the sale for this MJ print. Okay. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, You're going to get access to their artwork 12-month gold account, and you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community, and that's a $7,400 value. All right. And then bonus number 1, you're going to get the luxury pricing method. Okay. And so if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art, only for buyers to continue lowballing you or not respecting the true value on your art, and get this luxury pricing method, it's going to transform the game for you. And so look at Chrissy. She said, holy smokes. I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art, and I landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works. I was thinking of asking $800, was hoping for $600, but I boldly asked $1,000, and she did not hesitate. All right. So she got in and started rocking and rolling. So she was on this same web class that you're on right now, and she made $1,350 in the first 5 days when she became an affluent artist. And so here's Jen. She used the luxury pricing method to sell this piece for over $5,840, breakthrough 2. And then Brisha Jones, we shared how she leveraged that art story, but that's one piece of the luxury pricing method. And so this is how she was able to sell this piece for over $6,209, which was her biggest at 60 by 48. And it was the highest priced art piece that she had ever sold at the time. And so I want you to imagine your confidence skyrocketing because your art story has collectors emotionally invested in buying your art at any price. All right. This is your new reality when you become an affluent artist. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to that artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. Plus, you're going to get the luxury pricing method, and that's a value of $8,400. Okay. And then also bonus number 2, we're going to give you what we call our automated collector system. All right. And so we use a tool called High Level to really automate a lot of our sales. And so it's really simple. So we use AI ads with Facebook and Instagram. We get 24/7 collector leads coming in around the clock, and that results in new art sales. All right. So it's really, really simple. And so many artists suffer from feast or famine income where you sell art some months and some months you don't sell at all. And so I spent years investing time and money testing which art ads and sales pages work best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7. And so when we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7, this gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand and collector community while sales come in at the same time. And so if you already have a website that's not selling how you like, you can keep it or you can get rid of it and save the money. Okay. The choice is yours. Either way, you can use ours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every day like clockwork. And so again, man, this automated collector system absolutely works. And so Chrissy, she said she spent $45 and ran her ad. She had over 800 likes, 200 comments, 100 shares, and about 300 messages. I type yes in the chat if you like to get that type of response just from advertising your art. All right. And so she spent $45 and made over $1,400 in a day and a half. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. And you're going to get that luxury pricing method and that automated collector system. And that's a total value of $9,600. All right. And then bonus number 3, we're going to show you how to get high income collectors with Instagram ads. All right. And so this is for artists that pay in full, who are ready to rock and roll and really start to target collectors that got some money. All right. And so many artists struggle to get exposed to collectors can afford their art at the price you think is worth. And so I spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads on my own money, figuring out the best ways to target buyers with money. And so you get instant access to what's working now with Instagram ads and AI. And so I already showed you how to use that financial layering to target collectors that make the most income in your country. Okay. And so that's one piece to get these collectors to see your art so they can start coming into your world and buy your art at the prices you want to sell it. Okay. And so again, when you pay in full, you're going to get exposed to collectors with disposable cash. You're going to be able to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style. And you'll be able to predictably get new collectors 24/7 with ads. All right. And so, man, you can get like Jen when you start targeting these collectors that have more money. So she said another deposit for a commission of $4,369 commission. I just threw out a random number and they said, can they pay it in 3? And she got that deposit right there. Okay. And then here's Jasmine. She set a goal to make $5,000 for the month, but she actually ended up making $5,527 for the week. All right. So she said she was going through the inner circle with Sherez and his goal. So when you pay in full, we're going to give you access to this. Okay. And then I know some of you want to sell art for over $10,000 like Isha right here. Type yes in the chat if you want to start selling art for 10K or more. All right, she sold this 5-panel commission. Is absolutely beautiful. All right. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, that artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get that luxury pricing method, the automated collector system. And for those that are paying full, you're going to get access to that high income collector bonus. And that's a total value of over $10,600 when you join today. All right. And so, artists, if all this did was help you raise your prices so you could break your sales record, would that be worth $10,000? Type yes in the chat if you think that would be worth 10K. I absolutely think it's worth 10K if you can continuously break your sales records. All right. And if all this did was help you manage your sales and access Artworks one-click collectors, would that be worth over $10,000? Absolutely. Collectors have their credit cards on file. They can buy your art up to $1 million on the app. Okay. And then if all this did was help you target high income collectors so you sell more art, would that be worth over $10,000, right? Like selling that piece for 10K like Isha. Absolutely, that would be worth it. Okay. And so when creating this program, I had two choices with this. Choice number one, I could let you do this on your own with the wisdom you learned today, and you can be successful. Okay. Just applying what you learned here today. But also, man, I thought about having our team dedicate more time, energy, and resources so we have a responsible role in your success. Okay, that's the second choice. And so what are your dreams worth to you? If you had an automated collector system bringing collectors to you, what would that be worth to you? Like, how much would you pay to have one successful system? And so you can see why artists have paid over $10,000 for similar results from me, because it's not a cost when you do business with us. It is an investment. All right. And so when you go to affluentartist.com today, you won't have to invest anywhere near $10,600. And a normal price to become an affluent artist is $5,000, but you won't have to invest anywhere near that today. We have a special 93% off for $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. If you need help ordering, you could text JOIN to 470-777-7549. Again, you could text JOIN to +1 470-777-7549. All right. Also, if you need a payment plan, we also have a $200 a month plan for 6 months when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And so if you wanted personalized help like this, man, you would have had to come to our $1 Million Artist Mastermind that we do in Atlanta. All right. So these are for artists that really want to work to getting past 6 figures and getting to $1 million per year in art sales. And so Jasmine, when she came, she said, I am a loss for words here. Artwork Mastermind was beyond anything I imagined. All right. And then Demetrius said, in one word, epic. Okay. So this is a powerful experience, man, that artists are investing over $25,000 for, but you can get this type of experience for a fraction of that when you go to affluentartist.com and join today. All right. Also, the automated collector system bonus, that one bonus is worth more than the investment into the program today when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up. All right. And so, artists, again, you got two choices. Choice number one, you can do this on your own. All right. If you do this, though, you might get the same results you've been getting if you go at it alone. All right. But choice number two, you can get your hand held, just get personalized mentorship and guaranteed sales results when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up today. All right. And your success is also backed by a 110% money back guarantee. And so if you sign up now, if Affluent Artist does not help you sell more art and get more collectors, you'll have two options. Option number one, you'll follow the steps, decide it's not for you, and you can win 110% of your money back. Okay. Option number two, you decide that you will grow in Affluent Artist, and we will personally help you achieve your art sales goals when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up. All right. And so why do we do this? We do it for a very selfish reason. And that's because I know it's a win-win. This really makes it a no-brainer for you to join. And I know we can help you succeed. And so when you sign up, I know for a fact, one of these two things will happen. You will sell more art and get new collectors. All right. Or you will win $1,100 from us just for trying it out. All right. And so there are some qualifications to get the 110% money back. All right. It's very simple. So first, we want you to earn the 100% completion by watching the Affluent Artist Masterclass. 2, just take action on the information that you learn inside the Affluent Artist Masterclass. The third thing is attend the live sales sessions every week so we can answer all of your questions. And then the fourth, sell art. Like, use the information to sell art and share your results on social media. Okay, it's really, really simple. And so your profit is guaranteed with this. Option number one, you'll follow the steps, decide it's not for you, and you can win 110% of your money back. Well, option number two, you decide you want to grow in Affluent Artist, and we will continue helping you achieve your revenue goals. All right. And so the real question you got to ask yourself, is this worth taking a few minutes to check this out? All right. Because even if it does half of what I say today, it will pay for itself as soon as you sell one painting for $1,000. All right. And so you're literally just one collector away, man, from getting the momentum and the sales that you deserve when you go to affluentartist.com to join. All right. And so again, when you join today, you're going to get access to that Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to their artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. You can also get access to their luxury pricing method, the automated collector system. And when you pay in full, you get access to high income collectors. All right. That's a total value of over $10,600. All right. We also have a fast action bonus for artists that join tonight. You're going to get that sold out art challenge. And so this is what many artists use to sell art in the first 7 days. You're going to get that live handheld coaching. You get your Dream 100 collectors and so much more. All right. And so this is only for the first 10 artists that join live by going to affluentartist.com to join. Now, you can also text join to +1 if you're out of the country, +1 470-777-7549. All right. And so artists, get started now. Go to affluentartist.com to sign up. Man, we got a powerful program. Man, excited to help you get started and start making some sales and making some money. You can join now. That total value is over $11,600, but you can join for $9.99. All right. If you need a payment plan, it's only $200 a month for 6 months when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up right now. If you need help ordering, text join to +1 470-777-7549. All right. Now, at this point, I see a lot of you have signed up, and that makes me happy. We're so excited to see you inside of the community. All right. But some of you are still here, though, and I can tell you're getting ready to sign up. But you have a question that you need answered before you make that decision. All right. So let's address those questions in the time that we have left. And if you have a question, feel free to type it in the chat so we can get that answered for you. All right. So what if I already have a website? And so if you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all of your collectors to artwork and use our automated collector system so you can eliminate hosting costs and those monthly fees. Okay. Do collectors need an artwork account? So collectors can buy as a guest, but we encourage them to get an artwork account so they can track their full art collection. Okay. How do I afford the investment? And so one of the key ways that you can afford the investment is pre-selling your art. So use what you learned in these 3 secrets today. Post your art stories, post your piece, and ask for the sale. Okay. Use your artwork account to ask for the sale, and you can start making money that way to get the investment to afford the program. Okay. How do I make the time? So listen, Brisha Jones, she's a single mom, 2 kids, and she made the time to sell this piece for $2,572. Okay. And so one of the ways that we make the time is by creating what we call our success block. And so we like to wake up earlier in the morning and devote that time to our art business, all right, and to our goals and our dreams. And so if you can wake up an hour earlier, 2 hours earlier, or more, is whatever is comfortable for you. You want to spend that first part of your day refreshed, up early, and focus on your dreams so you can get to where you want to be in life. Okay. Can I do this from anywhere in the world? Absolutely. As long as you got the Wi-Fi, man, you can do this from your computer or your mobile phone anywhere in the world. Like Miss Joy here is in Canada. Okay. What if I'm just getting started? If you're just getting started, that's a great place to be because you don't have any bad habits to break, all right, and unlearn. And so Tiara, she's an affluent artist. She actually used what she learned in this program and she inspired her children. And so after the mom started making sales, these kids were 2, 5, and 7 years old, and they wanted to start creating art and selling it as well. And so she helped them set a goal to make $250, but with the support of their family and friends, these kids made over $500. All right, they were 2, 5, and 7 years old. And if they can do it at their young age of 2, 5, and 7, you can absolutely do it when you go to affluentartist.com and enroll today. All right. Is the process too hard technical? Listen, absolutely not. Miss Valerie, she was 68 when she joined, and she sold over $10,000 in her first 4 months. All right, so she's a grandmother, and so if she could do it, you can absolutely do it. But our team holds your hand to make sure that you got all of the technology set up correctly, so you can get everything that you need when you go to affluentartist.com right now to join. All right, and so artists, you have to get the resources or be resourceful to invest into your dreams. Okay, when Miss Stacy joined, she had a financial hardship as well, right? But she got the resources by being resourceful. And when she joined, she was so excited. She said, yes, it works. She said, I made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paints when they're done. I called and told her they're done. She could buy one for $250 or three for $6. She took all three. All right. So you can get access to that when you go to affluentartist.com right now. All right. You can also text join to 470-777-7549. All right. Some artists want to know, Sherez, is there too much competition? Listen, absolutely not. If you know any art collectors like me, man, you look around their home or their studio or their business, you have art from all different type of artists. Okay. I can look around right now and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different artists represented just in the space that I'm in right now. 6, 7 actually in the space that I'm in right now. So there's more than enough opportunity for everybody. What is the artwork commission? It's only 10%. And most importantly, you get to keep all your collectors' data so you can follow up with them and make future sales, okay? We know if you ever done business with some galleries and dealers, they usually take 30 to 60% of your sales, and they don't generally give you the collectors' data because they don't want you to cut them out of their commission, all right? And so we want you to keep most of the money and continue to sell in art directly to your best collectors. What budget do I need for ads? You can get started with as little as $5 a day. All right, $5 a day to get you in the game. We saw earlier where Christy has spent $7 and made a sale. So all you need is $5 a day to get started. All right, when you join here at affluentartist.com. So artists, I know you know, man, being a full-time artist, it absolutely beats working a 9 to 5. All right, Mia, man, because she's a full-time artist, you see, she's making sales to collectors. This is a $2,000 piece for a commission that they did for their 2-year-old's bedroom, man. I absolutely love it. The balloons with the strings, man, that's a powerful, powerful piece. And it's the community support that creates those success habits, okay? When you join, you're going to get access to a community of people that absolutely love serving and helping you make as much money as you can and becoming a full-time artist, right? And you also get so inspired by other artists and what they're doing because you see that if they're getting these outcomes and you can too. All right. So you could join us when you go to affluentartist.com. And so artists, if you have been online searching on Google, YouTube, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos, you know that information alone is not enough. All right. You need community, you need mentorship, you need a step-by-step process. And so if you're ready to get booked and busy like Toya, go to affluentartist.com and sign up right now. And so you got to ask yourself, artists, like, do you want money or do you want excuses? Because you cannot have both. All right. If you want money, go to affluentartist.com, sign up right now, and you can start selling your art for $2,000 or more, like Jonte Drew here. All right. Because Jonte wanted money. All right. But if you want excuses and if you want to come up with reasons why you can't, or you're not sure how you can invest into yourself, or if you're not going to take the efforts of what you learned today and apply it, man, then you got to live with just that experience. Okay. If you want to continue feeling that way instead of investing into yourself, because the next cost that you really got to calculate is the true cost of inaction. And so what if this helped you just start selling just one piece per week, right? Like, would that be worth it? Of course that would be worth it. But here's the bigger thing that you got to calculate. Like, what's the lost opportunity cost, right? Are the future missed sales really worth continuing to struggle to sell your art because you're trying to figure it out on your own, right? Are the sales that you're going to miss for the rest of January really worth it? Are the sales that you might miss in February if you delay getting started, is that really worth it? What about the sales in March, right? Before you know it, the first quarter of the year will be gone and you can still be looking at, last year's sales or last year's lack of momentum. Because if you just follow one of the steps I shared on today's webinar, you can make a profit in the first week when you go to affluentartist.com and join our team today, all right? And so also, man, you can look at family and friends as investors. When you got a plan and a crystal clear process to sell your art, people love to invest into you to help you out and get the outcomes that you're looking for, okay? And so also, you can have PayPal invest into you. This is an option that a lot of artists use. If you go to paypal.com/credit, You can apply for a credit line with PayPal, and they have no payments and no interest if paid in full in 6 months or more. All right. So you got to pay in full, but then you can apply that credit line and PayPal will let you join the program. All right. So you can join, you got 6 months to start selling your art, and then you can pay that back without any interest. All right. And so, artists, the time is now. All right. If you're ready to start actively implementing the wisdom that you learn and start getting collectors to start buying your art without negotiation or hesitation, like Raquel West did here, go to affluentartist.com and join our team, man. We're excited to have you on the inside. All right. So let's accomplish your dreams together, artists, because I know as a fellow artist, that struggle with selling art is real. But when it's gone from your life, man, think about how you would feel when you start selling art with ease, right? How much better will your life be, right? And then if you're working a job right now, you know you really want to be a full-time artist, right? How much stress is working that job and never having enough money causing your mind and your body right now? Because after you join, just imagine, poof, it's gone, right? Imagine living your life as a full-time artist. Let me know if you can feel the difference. And it starts by going to the link below and joining and becoming a Affluent Artist at affluentartist.com. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the checkout process real quick. Let me come out here. Let's go to affluentartist.com. All right, so when you go to affluentartist.com, you're going to see that you got a little over 72 hours to join today. All right, we're going to walk you through a recap of everything that you get. You also got the win your money back guarantee. And so you just put in your name, your email, your phone number, and you can select which plan that you want. All right, if you want the pay in full bonuses, make sure you select this one. If you need the pay plan, you can select that one as well. All right. And then we also got the VIP offer. Highly recommend you getting this VIP add-on as well. All right. And then when you're ready to join, you just click join now. If you need to put your credit card information in, you can choose this option, put your 16-digit card number into your expiration, your CVC, and your zip code, and click join now. And it's that simple. Okay. All right, so Affluent Artists, get started now, man. I'm excited to have you in the community. When you join today at affluentartist.com, you're going to get access to that Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to that Artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. You're also going to get some powerful bonuses, all right? Bonus number 1, the luxury pricing method. Bonus number 2, the automated collector system. And when you pay in full, you're going to get access to high-income collectors with Facebook and Instagram ads, all right? And then for the first 10 artists, you also get that sold out art challenge that's letting artists sell art in the first 7 days when they join. All right? If you want to be that quick, you can. If not, that's cool too. All right. But that's a total value of $11,600. But you can join for a special 93% off for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com. If you need a payment plan, we also have an option for $200 a month for 6 months. All right. And if you need help ordering, text join to +1 470-777-7549. Again, you can text join to +1 470-777-7549. All right. Peace and much love to everybody. Man, excited to do these. Looking forward to seeing you on the inside. So go to affluentartist.com right now and enroll, and we'll see you on the inside. Peace, everybody.